Hi Peaches, it's Shaaba, welcome back to my channel and thank you for clicking on another video. Today we're back with another channel classic. We're gonna deep dive into the arseholes. For those of you who don't know, Am I the Arsehole is an incredible subreddit where people post their stories, their side of the story, because every story has three sides, yours, theirs, and the truth, baby. And we make these videos to hopefully help some people out, expand our own mindsets, because we can learn a lot from the storytelling of others, and also to have a little bit of fun. So, should we get on with it? Just before we kick off, a huge thank you to the Backstage Peaches. For those of you who don't know, I have memberships right here on the Shaaba channel, and you too can become a member and be a Backstage Peach. The members of this channel get backstage access to some secret diary entries and also help me inform this content. So shout out to you, thank you for your help. Let's go. Am I the arsehole for refusing to give my girlfriend some of my food? This just reminds me of Joey from Friends.
Joey doesn't share food!
My girlfriend is one of those people who, when you ask them, says that they don't want anything, but literally seconds later asks you for your food or to share. It was cute at first, but now I'm kind of annoyed because sometimes I just want to eat the food that I bought for myself. Whenever I tell her to stop doing it, she apologizes. She doesn't do it for like 2 days, but then she does it again, and the cycle repeats. Recently, I was ordering some takeout and I asked her if she wanted anything. She said no. So I just went ahead and ordered for myself. I got the food, I came home and I started to eat it. Oh, this must hurt even more because you actually went to pick that stuff up. She asked me if she could have some. I was hungry and I didn't want to share at this point. So I refused and said that she should just make some food for herself or get something to eat. This is definitely a Joey doesn't share food moment. She said I was being a and a bite or two wouldn't hurt, but I still refused because I literally asked her if she wanted anything and she said no. That's right, babe, she said no. Things have been a little tense now and she's been giving me the silent treatment, refusing to talk to me. I'm wondering if I should have just sucked it up since it's just food. But I don't know. Am I the arsehole? You are not the arsehole. It's one of those moments that feels really trivial, right, to talk about, but I can totally see how on an ongoing basis it can be very annoying. Hey, at the end of the day, if you want your girlfriend to learn, anybody to learn, it's not like it was the first time, it's not like this is an exception. The only way she's gonna learn is if she doesn't get the convenience that you are providing because of a thing that she isn't doing. Like, she could just say she wanted food. Do you know what I mean? Is it a money thing? Is she sponging off of you? Then she should tell you. If it's because she's indecisive or she doesn't think that she'd want to eat, then she just needs to grow up and realize that if you weren't around and she wanted food, she'd have to order food anyway. So just order your own damn food. Okay? There are lovely romantic moments in sharing food with mutual consent, but I too have my limit, especially if she's asking for more than like a bite. A bite, fine, take a bite. If you're asking for half my meal and I'm excited for a meal that I just ordered and I gave you the opportunity to have your own, Let's see what others have to say. Not the arsehole. If she wants food, she could have said so. It's fine if you know you're sharing in advance, but I can see why it's no longer endearing. Not the arsehole. I grew up in a household where I had to eat as fast as possible or my brother would eat it or your situation would drive me truly insane. I would rather pay $100 for 5 just in case meals, for someone than share my specific chosen plate. I don't think just in case meals are a good idea. Number one, it just sounds like really bad food waste and really bad money management, and I think accountability is like the principle that needs to be taught here. Somebody else agrees with me. I completely disagree with buying food just in case. She can learn to order her own or go without. It's simple. Anything else is pandering to unacceptable behaviour and potentially wasting food. I agree. Grow up to the girlfriend, decide when you want to eat your own food and get on with it. That was an easy one, wasn't it? Bit harsh, perhaps, but easy. No arseholes here, apart from the girlfriend. But that's not how we play this game. Okay, am I the arsehole for making a joke about a guy being a virgin at a cosplay meetup? I'm hoping it's not as mean as it sounds. Let's take a look. 21-year-old man has a girlfriend, 22 years old, and she's a cosplayer and takes photos for social media and Twitch. We love a good streamer. We love a good cosplay moment. Go you. My girlfriend's active in the cosplaying community and goes to the gatherings where different people cosplay video game characters and anime characters come to meet up and take pictures and stuff. My girlfriend went to the smaller scale meetup of around 30 cosplayers and I went with her to help her take pictures and also just hang out. We went and there was this creepy, weird guy following my girlfriend around, asking her questions and talking about his cosplay. He was cosplaying some kind of pirate, but I don't know what it was because I don't watch anime or play a lot of video games. My girlfriend was clearly uncomfortable with the guy, so I told him we're going to take pictures and please leave. Okay, fair enough. He took offense to this and started asking me where my cosplay is, and I said I don't understand anything. He told me I probably don't even know who he's cosplaying as. He had a face full of pimples and looked like the stereotypical anime gamer nerd. So I asked him if he was cosplaying Captain Redbeard of the Virgin Islands. Alright, Teaching moment, babe. Up until this point, you were not the asshole, but as soon as I read this line, you are totally the asshole. I'll wait to make final judgment until we reach the end of the story, but oh my goodness, that sounds incredibly assholey. Look, I'm gonna give you a very simple life lesson here. To anybody who needs it, people do crappy things. And if people do crappy things, there's a lot of power in saying, hey babe, that thing's really crappy. But when you start picking on the people and not the behaviour for factors that do not correlate to what you are talking about, particularly if they're factors about appearance or things that somebody can't change, you're just bullying. It's not a nice thing to do. It stoops down to a lower level that you don't need to operate on, and it totally eradicates any power or high ground of respect that you've built by doing the right thing in calling out bad behaviour. So just don't do it. What has the fact that this guy has pimples got anything to do with the fact that he's harassing and making your girlfriend feel uncomfortable? Just saying, hey, you're being a harassing person, hey, you are making this person feel uncomfortable, is grounds enough. And also, it doesn't need to be pointed out, I don't think so, but maybe this is still information to some people, so just to let you know, in case you didn't already, it's not nice to refer to people as virgins just because they look like, in your words, anime gamer nerds. Very uncool, very unnecessary, very not true. It's 2022. We don't do the mean girls lunchtime cliche bullying. My girlfriend immediately said babe and said I was being rude and forced me to apologise. We got home and she said she's embarrassed by my behaviour and called me an arsehole. Am I the arsehole? I do want to say you're the arsehole, but I also appreciate that the guy following your girlfriend was also the arsehole. However, this doesn't qualify for an everybody sucks here because your girlfriend's not the arsehole, so you are the arsehole. You are the arsehole. Most people seem to disagree that they seem to be doing the everybody sucks here, but many of them are also saying that the girlfriend's the exception, so it's not really an everybody sucks here. Him also, and for obvious reasons, you for body shaming, and making a joke about sex life, and most importantly, not following your girlfriend's lead. Is that the most important point? No. I wouldn't say that that was an assholey thing to do. If somebody's uncomfortable and you feel like you can help them, then I feel like the right thing to do would be to help them, but not in a way that bullies them for acne or makes assumptions about someone's sex life. Assuming he is the asshole creep you described, you've just fueled what's probably his excuse for his behaviour. Next time he's thinking, oh, so it's only creepy if someone unattractive does it, he's going to be thinking about you and how you clearly think less of him because of how he looks. I half agree with this point. I do agree that because you pointed out the looks that he's going to think that that's what it's about, when really it is about the behaviour, but at the same time it's not your duty to stop other people from being creepy. They just shouldn't be creepy. Do you know what I mean? You're the asshole, says someone. Go after the behaviour, not the individual. Yeah, see, that very succinctly says what I was trying to say. And frankly, if you're going to be helping your girlfriend out with her passion, you might want to learn about it and take an interest. You embarrassed her in her element. Aw, I feel like that's a little tiny bit mean. Like, you were clearly attempting to make interest. You went and you wanted to hang out and you were taking photos. But yes, you were definitely the asshole for saying what you said. There was no need. So there you go, we found an asshole. But you know what? That's not necessarily a bad thing. I really hope that OP's looked at these responses and has been able to grow from that and be like, I've learnt a lesson, and not do it again. How cool would that be? Should we move on? Am I the asshole for not wanting to play the Dulux colour game at my baby shower? What's the Dulux colour game? I like games. I need some outside perspective here, says OP. I'm 6 months pregnant, congratulations, and due to have a baby shower in the next few weeks. The important context is that I am super, can't spend more than 20 minutes in the sun, white British, and my partner is British Indian. Whoa, is this where the Dulux colour game comes in? Because I can see this being super problematic. My friends were discussing games to play on the day, and one suggested it would be fun to play a version of her workplace tea chart. They have a Dulux paint chart that they mark their name against for what colour they like their tea and coffee to be. The point being to make the tea run easier when people are in the office. For that context, I think it's actually a great idea. Her suggestion was that people place bets using the same scale of paint chart from cream to dark brown on what skin colour my child would have. Oh dear God. Somebody actually suggested that? No. Now, I'm not on board with this. At a minimum, it's odd. At a maximum, it's pretty bloody racist. I'm being accused of being oversensitive for not wanting to play a fun, harmless game. My partner also thinks it's very odd and is against it being played. Am I the arsehole for really not being into it or banning it as a game? Babe, you're not the arsehole. You're so not the arsehole here. So the idea is they would have a paint spectrum that went from white or cream to dark brown, and people would place money bets on what the child would best represent. Am I thinking that right? And then the idea being that whoever wins the bet and gets the closest to the skin colour would get all the money. There is a very big difference between tea and people's skin. Do you know sometimes there are things that you don't feel need to be said, and then you're like, well, hey, that's something I had to say today. My first thought is, would you still want to be friends with this person? Not because I suggested something, because you know what? Sometimes people make make silly remarks. Sometimes, especially if they haven't lived through the experience that you might have lived through. I mean, I get that you are white, but your partner is brown. And so you have been exposed to understanding a little bit more about racial nuance. Perhaps your friend hasn't. Sometimes people make silly suggestions, but then you can be like, oh, that's a little bit odd, babe. I don't think that's okay. Do you know what you then do? You stop. You then go back to said person who has called out your potentially very racist suggestion of a game, and you go, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. I'm such a dumbo. I didn't think. I can see why it could be interpreted that way. My bad. And you stop people from writing posts like this. But clearly, that's not the response that has been received, because OP is like, was I wrong? You are absolutely not wrong. If I can be just a tiny bit controversial and incredibly honest, please do not misinterpret what I'm saying. This is not an okay suggestion. This is not an okay game to play. What I'm saying is, I know it's not entirely dissimilar to a conversation that I've had with Jamie. Often, when we think about kids and we're like, if we had to have biological children, imagine what cute little colour they'd be. They'd be some adorable shade of caramel, milk chocolate, a little latte coloured beautiful little squish. And that in itself is not a racist thing to think. In fact, I'm embracing the fact that our child could be a mix of any colour, and we are excited to see what beautiful colour our child is, regardless of what colour that is. That, however, is very different to this, and I can see how someone might have confused that, again, with not knowing. Maybe it would be beneficial as well to explain why this isn't okay, because maybe some people genuinely don't know. There's a big issue with colorism. If you're not aware of that word, it's different to racism, and it's kind of racism within races. It was actually a really poor way of describing it, but essentially, colorism basically highlights the disparities of treatment and how people are perceived depending on how white their brown is. For example, people with darker skin are often treated worse and considered less beautiful, which is colorist within racism, and people with lighter brown skin are given more opportunities, more praise, are considered more beautiful because they are closer to the definition of white. And that sort of colorism treatment can come from both outside, from main society, outside people of colour, but also from within groups of people of colour, and it's spoken about less, which is why it's so problematic. The idea to me that you would therefore be betting on the colour of a baby's skin, especially if you go lighter and then you're winning, like, can you see how there are like so many problems involved with that? Babies are not tea. Oh dear, let's see what other people say. Not the arsehole, it is flat out racist. Not only is it an odd thing to participate in, it's an offensive thing to participate in, which was clearly made without you or any BIPOC people attending the baby shower in mind. I mean, maybe it wasn't done without you in mind. In fact, I think it's kind of been done because they have you in mind and the fact that you're a gorgeous mixed race couple. The problem is, it's not sensitive. I don't think people have thought it out properly. Not the arsehole. If I attended a baby shower with a game like that, I'd be very uncomfortable, and I'd also feel sorry for your husband for being married to someone that racist. Whoa, I know you're not, but I'd assume that you are based on going along with that game. I don't think that OP is racist at all here, but I can see how the connotations might be that if you allow this to happen, there is some sort of like, this is not okay and you are not a brown person thing going on. Not the arsehole. Christ, that's inappropriate. Skin colour tests have been used by racist regimes to decide whether someone's white enough to have human rights, and I'm glad you and your partner are against it. Being a white mum to a POC child means that you have to learn a shit ton about racism to protect your kid and help them navigate the world. So true. And it just looks like maybe you're having to do that little step early. You're already protecting your little squish before they come out into the big wide world. Assuming that game didn't happen, I hope you had a wonderful baby shower. All the best for you and your little child. Should we do one more? Am I the arsehole for removing my stepsister from a group chat for sending pictures of my baby to my family? I don't live in the same country as my family or my in-laws, so I decided to make a group chat where I could send pictures and videos of them to my baby since everybody kept asking to see him. I sent a video of my son sleeping on my husband's chest to the group recently. A few days after I sent the video, my stepsister's husband called me and asked me not to send her naked videos of my husband because it was inappropriate. Man's threatened by another man's nipples. He was really angry about it even after I said sorry. What's the dude's problem? To avoid any more issues, I decided to remove my stepsister from the group and to just occasionally send her videos and pictures of my son privately if she asked to see them. I didn't expect this to turn into a huge thing, but it has because my stepsister's really upset that I removed her. I would be too. And wants me to add her back. Her dad is siding with her even after I explained what happened with her husband and has decided to leave the group until I add her back. Am I the arsehole? I kind of feel like you're the arsehole. I'm sorry. Another subconscious arsehole. If I got that right, you're sending photos to a group chat, right? And so the husband of your sister, so somebody who was looking at your sister's phone, got upset and contacted you without your sister knowing, and then you just removed your sister from the chat. There seems to be like a little step missing. Did you tell your sister? Did you say, hey, I'm kind of weirded out by your husband's reaction to my husband's chest. I shared a cute photo of a cute baby on my cute husband and your husband's gone and sexualized it. I have a problem with this. I kind of feel like if you're going to remove someone from the group chat, you need to explain the reason why. Maybe the sister isn't aware that that is what her husband did. I don't think your sister's being the asshole here, and I certainly don't think your dad is either for siding with her, because I would feel pretty left out. Obviously that comes with the caveat that you are perfectly entitled to post whatever you want to whoever you want, and you shouldn't be made to feel uncomfortable about sharing very perfectly fine baby pictures. But at the same time, what you're asking here is if it was the right thing to do for you to remove your sister from the group chat, and I just don't think it was. I do think that's a bit of an arsehole-y move without talking about it. And it seems that people disagree with me. Okay, not the arsehole. This is a time to explain to everyone her husband's contacting you over an innocent video of your son and husband. If he's going to be jealous and berate you over that, then they need to be aware of why you felt the need to remove her from the chat. That's until you have a guarantee of not being harassed by her husband. You don't feel comfortable adding her back. Let her dad cry all he wants. I understand how the husband's reactions made you feel uncomfortable, but you're not sending it to the husband. You're sending it to your sister. I still don't think it's right for you to therefore deprive your sister of feeling that joy just because of something her husband did. You know? Not the asshole. A, it's your right to choose who you send the pictures to. This is very true. B, she, or at least her husband, asked not to be sent photos. You're just complying with the request. No, hang on a minute. We're not defined by what our husbands tell us. She did not say that. You very rightly pointed out, commenter, that the husband did. And life would be very tricky and would have had to have rewinded many decades and reversed many bits of progress of feminism, as we're now saying what husbands say has to go for their wives. That's not okay. If your sister didn't say that she wanted to be removed, don't remove her. You are not complying with her request. I do agree with the end of this comment though, which is that arseholiness here is definitely on the side of the stepsister's husband. But I do also think it was wrong for you to remove your sister from that group, because that's not cool. I hope you can fix it though. This sounds like a really trivial small thing. Communication is key, as always, my love, and can fix 99% of the problems that we often see here on Am I the Arsehole? Oh, I feel like that one was a little controversial. Do you agree? Let me know downstairs in the comment section. For now, I will love you and leave you. If you enjoyed this video, do give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you'd like to see more, be kind, and have a great day. See you next time. Bye!